going to Ekev, and this is the discourse, the farewell discourse of Moshe Rabbeinu and his people. And he's going to be touching different areas. And also, he's going to bring back certain things that Israel did in the period of the 40 years. Also, we are going to see here that the Creator, basically what he's doing is, through Moshe Rabbeinu, is telling them, you know, I gave you a tour of 40 years in order to train you. That was a very intensive training that the people of Israel have received. Remember that always I like to look at the Torah, not only in the sense of what happened at that time, but how we can apply it today. You know, many people get enclosed in the religion instead to see the principle of the Torah. Our Creator didn't want to teach us only through history. He wanted to teach us through principles. His word was very important. The history is secondary to what really the principle comes out. I was having a conversation with some of you. It's about the basic 10 Commandments and that we saw last week, how the Creator repeated to Moshe Rabbeinu. You know, many people think that the 10 Commandments were given in Har Sinai, and that was the first time that the people knew about the 10 Commandments. Let me tell you something that many people do not think about it, and we need to understand it. We are not an afterthought of the Creator. I don't know if you understand that term, afterthought. You know that he said, well, I don't know what to do, I am bored with the world, I need to create something. Let me create a man. And little by little, he was imagining something new, and he started creating something new. You know? It's very clear in Bereshit that he says that during 7 days, okay, 6 days really, he started all the creation. On the 7th day, he stopped and he didn't create anymore. He let it be. You know, and what? No, we were not an afterthought. That was a process. And this is how we need to see. And interestingly enough, we the human beings, we are the only ones that we have been created to his likeness and image. And here it's very important to understand this more than only in the physical term. We need to go a little beyond the physical, to the ethereal. And we need to understand what the Creator gave us in his likeness and image. Because this is very important. I have been trying to explain this over and over again. You have heard me talking to you about that we have been created to his likeness and image, that they gave me emunah, and then bitachon, and then we had the opportunity to develop ourselves. You know, we had bechira chofshi, free will. He gave us independence to act on our own, but at the same time, we needed to act on our own, and there was the intention of that we call it kavanah. All this I have been explaining to you through the times. Also, I have been talking to you about that we have an inherent morality. Inherent morality is in our creation because he breathed upon us. You know, he put his ruach in us, his spirit in us. And then when he put his spirit in us, he put his principles in us. A man is born morally correct, if we put it that way. You know, and it's with the time that men start going to the different direction. But in the beginning, there is nobody that has been born, you know, wrong. All has his presence in us. And it's then what we decided, that is the bechira chofshi, the free will. In this is basic principles, is the 10 Commandments. It's already in us. People say, yeah, but he revealed for the first time in Har Sinai. We need to understand this. in Har Sinai, he reminded, he made it again an issue for the people to come back to him. You know, how many times I have been telling you about the role of Mashiach, the role of the Messiah. One of the, all our sages are going to agree with me in this thing. One of the big roles of the Mashiach, besides to bring us a new world, a new moon, whatever, was to bring us back to Torah, bring us back to the Creator. You start reading and studying about what I say, talk about Mashiach, and one of the things that I want to tell you. And who is the exemplary, who is the real face of this Mashiach? Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay? This is the picture of the Mashiach. You know? And many people go to King David and Aaron and all of it, but really the picture is Moshe Rabbeinu, who brought the people back and gave back to them the Torah. Now, in this excursion, in this wonderful speech that he is going to give, it's interesting, you know, at the beginning he couldn't talk. He was and now he is a preacher. And he talks more than what really he needs to talk. No? And he is going to make a beautiful exposition, historical coming back and telling the people of Israel, the second generation is going to tell them what is going to happen, and they need to be ready. And he's sorry that he won't be able to be with them. He wished that he was with them, but he won't be able to be with them. You know, that is a typical parents, the typical grandparents. You know, we want to be with our children and our grandchildren and protect them, no matter what. You know, that is very normal. But let me tell you, one of the things is there is a time that our children, they need to start depending on themselves. They cannot be all the time under us. But we keep giving advice. And this is what Moshe Rabbeinu is doing during this discourse. Giving advice and reminding them, historically speaking, what they went through. And he's going to tell them that these 40 years in the desert were not in vain. They had a reason. That the reason was to prepare them for a better role. And to be prepared to face circumstances that they are going to be very difficult. But also is going to teach them that they need to be obedient. Now, only as matter of background, I would like, we start this Parasha Ekev in 7:12, no? But I would like to go to the last parasha at the end. Why? Because I would like that you see something that that sometimes we do not see it. I'm going to read to you. He said, verse 5, he's going to start saying, instead, treat them like this. Tear down their altars, smash their standing stones, and down their sacred poles, and burn their idols. Here is the condition he's talking. For you are people consecrated. You have been bought to me. You are my people. Okay? And reading verse 7:6. The Lord your God and all the people of the earth, you have been chosen, and the Lord your God to be his own people. He's repeating something that already we saw in Shemot, in Exodus. But then he says, the Lord set his heart on you and choose you. And here is very important thing to understand about Israel. Okay? Then on you, choose you not because you were the most numerous of all people, for indeed you were the smallest of all, but because he loved you and meant to keep you with you, and he swore to your fathers. Chapter 9.
Verse 9 or
Chapter 9 now. Verse 6. Be clear about this. The Lord is not giving you possession of this fine country because of any right conduct of your part. For you are a Ekev or you are a hard head, obstinate people, a stiff neck. With this introduction, I want to tell you about many people that are thinking about Israel, about us the Jews, we're better than others. Or we're more special than others.
Chosen.
Yeah? The only reason that we have been chosen is because he decided to do it. Had no any merit on us. And being chosen, and this is a word that I constantly use for all of us, you not necessarily, and even the rabbis that will tell you, and here we want to see that we are talking about how to treat the foreigners, and the foreigners who want to join to Israel, they are received with open arms. But there is one condition. They need to keep the word of God. And with this I can tell you one thing. There are many people who call Israel who are not from Israel. And there are many people who think they are not from Israel and they are part of Israel. Because it has nothing to do about, like many people want to think it's only about blood. But it's about calling. And the Creator called you and put in your heart the desire to follow Him. One of the things that I've been talking to you on all this time, on this period of time, is about how we need to get rid of religion, and we need to be more concentrated and to have a relationship with the Creator. How many times I have been trying to tell you that religion itself is going to take you to the wrong way. Because it's even going to put in your head or make you believe that it's because of you that you are chosen. Instead to understand that you are chosen because of Him. I had a friend of mine who talks constantly with me, and he said, no, he didn't choose me, I choose him if I want to. I mean, many people believe that the Creator, the Borei Olam, is the production of your imagination, is the production of your needs, is the production of your insecurities, of your fears. And it's totally the contrary. It's the Creator who talks to you and makes you. Here in this portion, you're going to see how Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, you are going to conquer this land. And don't be afraid that they are more numerous or bigger. The Creator is going to give it to you. Why is He saying that to them? Because they already had that experience before. Do you remember the spies when they went and they came back almost defeated, and because of that they extended 38 more years wandering in the desert? Now the Creator is saying to this generation, don't worry, you are going to fight, but the Creator is with you. You know, Yashuv used to say, don't fear those who can take your life here. Fear the one that can take your life forever, eternally. We are in a world of fears. And we live here only with fears. When the Creator, what He wants for us, is to trust to Him and to do our best. Do you remember another time I said to you, the Creator does miracles through us. He used us to do miracles. In this world we talk about possessions, fortunes, wealth, power. What the Creator is saying to Israel, I want to give you all of that, but not for you. It's for you to help others, because all the nations of the world will be blessed through you. That is what He told Abraham Avinu. To Abraham Avinu, you see in chapter 18 of Bereshit, you're going to see that it's for us fulfilling the calling that He has given. We're going to be a blessing to others, and we are going to help others. Already in Bereshit. People say, what are the Ten Commandments? Before, the hearts in Eden were already in our hearts. You know, can you think when sometimes you start reading something a thought comes to your mind, and you say, why that something came from me? Because it has been already implanted on you. Many of us, we do not know how much we have been influenced by our own settings, by our own backgrounds, by our own words. And sometimes we need to fight against those things in order to be faithful to the Creator. We come from many nations, and we have, many of us, different customs, different cultures, different ideas. But when we come to have a relationship with the Creator, our ideas are clarified. The question is the Creator is asking us to be fanatics or to have a relationship with Him? I want to put you another statement here. In chapter 10, verse 16, there is a very well-known verse. They say, circumcise your hearts. You know, it's very interesting how religions explain this. But what is really this phrase means? Cannot be literal. It's impossible. But what is the meaning? And that's it. Do you know, some of you, at my age, we have been diagnosed that we have beginning of cataracts. You know, what is cataract? It grows a little firm, cloudiness in your eyes. You know, and what the doctors today they do, they shave it, they take it, and they put another. And then you start seeing clear again. Basically, that's what it is. If you want to make it a modern interpretation of circumcise your hearts. Take that film in your heart. And what is the heart in the Torah? The heart has nothing to do with feelings. In the Torah, heart means intellect. You know, means action, means motivation, intention. That's what it means. Knowledge. Doing things knowingly. And what happens when your heart is clouded? You start taking wrong decisions. You start doing wrong things. And then you need clarity in order to act. The cataracts, they need to be eliminated. he's going to talk about. Knowing not to have fear. But he is going to be with us. But there is like a condition. Not everything is free. You know, there are religions that say, free, everything is free, 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 free. No, 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 the Creator is not the free hand. That's the reason that He created, He gave you life, and He has made you a partner with Him. And making you a partner, He has given you free will. You know, look at the Creator in this way. He could make us all of us robots. And the only thing that we need to do is to say, yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir. He took us out of slavery. Because He trusts on us. He put the trust on us. He doesn't force us to believe in Him. Even we can have the chutzpah to deny Him. But He doesn't change. Our Creator is what I would call a steady Freddy. He's always there. He is always going to be there. And constantly giving you the opportunity to come back. Always. But a religion is going to tell you, if you do this and you do that, if you take this thing and you take the other side, if you need to do 3 times this, 3 times that, and you do it in this and that. Everything is, you know, formulas. Do you think the Creator loves formulas? Formula mean nothing if you don't do it with the heart. Because the Creator measures our intention. Intention. He reads our intention before even we know what we want. How many of us we have been able to deceive people doing certain things? Some of us were more expert than others, no? We can deceive anybody. Sometimes I have met so many con artists. You know, those people that are pure honey in their mouth, they smile to you, and then they stab you in the back. And you only learn that after the fact. And you think that you can do the same thing with the Boreolan. It's impossible. No, but nobody can lie. Nobody can make a mockery of the Creator. He knows you better than you know yourself. In this portion, he teaches about even to treat the foreigners in the right way. Teaches to treat anybody that is not like us, to treat it well. Because for us, as Israel, we need to remember where we come from. We were slaves. We were persecuted. We were mistreated. The Shoah had not passed too long ago. And we have the Israel today. That's the reason that right now in Israel there is a division among the people. Because sometimes it's how do we treat our foreigner people. We have forgot where we were. What is the compassion? This is what the Creator is asking us to remember when He said, I trained you. I gave you a training for 40 years in the desert. I had your total attention on me. And you were totally dependent on me. It's very similar to give you a comparison, is very similar to a baby who is still in the womb of the mother. For 9 months, the baby is totally depending on the mother. Totally. Because after he's born, even he's still dependent, now he needs to breathe on himself. He needs to open his mouth to eat, and all those things. But if he was in the womb of the mother, he need to worry about, he didn't need to wear anything to cover him, or he didn't have cold or hot, nothing. And the womb of the mother was totally okay. And many times I teach people to think about being born is like to die sometimes. Because you are passing from the process, from the conduit of darkness, totally darkness in that moment, because there is no light inside, to a place where there's a lot of light, a lot of noise, not only that, but even worse, you need to learn to breathe on yourself. Let me ask you something. How many of you are still attached to the umbilical cord of your mothers? How many of you are still depending on others? Independence brings responsibility. And what the Creator is saying to Israel, it is, if you listen and you obey, you are going to have all these things. But if you don't listen and you disobey, you are going to suffer the consequences. And in the next parasha, in Red, the first thing that we're going to start is with the blessings and curses. Tell me. What the Creator, through Moshe Rabbi, is trying to teach us? There are consequences to our irresponsibility. Many of us, we say we can get out free, and nobody's going to know. Let me tell you, the Creator knows everything that He knows. And it's for that reason that this parasha, instead to tell you one point to other point to other point, I want to give you the overall, the global understanding, the principle based on what Moshe Rabbeinu is trying to tell us. It is, if we are clean, Ekev, here, hid, that's the Jacob, by the way, Jacob, his name here means that you need to heal, you need to hold yourself on something, Be here on the Creator, on His principles, on His Word, on who is teaching us. These 10 commandments are the basis for everything. But one thing that is important in all these things that you need to understand. The Creator said, if you follow my principles, you're going to have a good life. You deviate from them, and you're going to suffer consequences. Right now, you see many things. Many people think because they have a lot of wealth or a lot of money, they are blessed. You will be surprised that many of those rich people, wealthy people, powerful people are the most miserable people in the world. And you will be surprised to see that people that are very limited and modest, they don't have much, are the happiest people in the world. Because it's not wealth what makes you happy. It's your relationship with the Creator. And your relationship with Him gives you the opportunity to understand even better. But more that you get away from Him, more and more you start becoming a little bit confused about what is right and what is wrong. Do you remember what I have been teaching you about from morality to immorality to amorality? In here, he is going to teach you about, he in this parasha talks again, brings Pharaoh. Mention Pharaoh. And what happened with Pharaoh? Pharaoh, at the beginning, started listening and start answering in the right way. Was a little hard head, but I answered. Well, we're going to think about it, and see, I'm going to bring my own wizards and everything. But little by little, we say, and the heart of Pharaoh became stiff, and the Creator allowed that his heart be hardened. He went from moral to amoral. And the amoral person has no any longer the capability to differentiate right from wrong. And many times I have been telling you that at least the immoral people, they know they're doing wrong. They do it, but they know that they're doing wrong. But the amoral have no the capability to differentiate right from wrong. And they think that they're right. Sociopaths, psychopaths, all those people, sick people now. And our society is going to that way. Israel as a country is still an example. And I say it's still, in spite of many things that happen in Israel. And it has values that are beyond other nations. Israel themselves, they put themselves, they limited themselves. How they treat their enemies. And they treat the enemies with benevolence, if we say the least. Even now you can see what they're doing with the Syrian people. They put hospitals, how they treat the other so-called refugees. But the media, the whole media, tells you about how evil is Israel. They never tell you anything good about Israel. Israel has become the breadbasket of the world. Little bit Israel produced more things than anybody else. Israel produced more inventions than any other country in the world. Today, any person that can live without a cellular phone, with iPhones or other kind of things, cybernetic computers and other things, you know what become all those advances? From Israel. New discoveries in medicine. God is blessing Israel, but the question is Israel blessing the Creator? And right now we are in a big, bad situation. Israel is going more and more trying to identify with the world. And this is, in this parasha, is exactly what Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Israel not to do. Don't follow the world, follow the Creator. How that applies to us today? How many of us, we are interested in what is now chic, instead what is more important about how we live? How many of us we are glued to the TV or to the news to see what is going on, and we follow the new ways, the new trends, instead to be ourselves. times I have been told, oh, you're living in the past. Because I don't follow the new trends. I don't need new trends. I need what is right and what is wrong. This is simple. And there's something new comes, good. Something new comes and is wrong, put it aside. Don't follow because somebody else say a hero or somebody is telling you what to do. Follow the principle of the Creator. And that is what Moshe Rabbeinu is telling to the people of Israel. When you are going to possess the land, clean that area. Don't follow what they do. And right now, what is Israel doing? They want to identify with the world. They want to be exactly like the rest of the world. And they don't understand how special they are. And many of them have told me, I do not want to be special. And I say, you know what? I didn't choose this role. I was chosen for this role. And many times I have been reluctant to my role. Why? Because it's not easy. Because you need to live to certain standards. And you need to be different, even if you don't want to. Because your principles are different. And this is what the Word of God is teaching today towards us. And this Ekev, take heed, obey. If you obey God, everything is going to be in the right way. But if you disobey, you're going to suffer the consequences. In the next parasha, we are going to see even more deep. We are passing from the mitzvot, from the hukim, and we are going to go hukim and mishpatim. The mitzvot, as I told you before, are the commandments of God, the 10 commandments, divided in 3 parts: mitzvot, hukim, and mishpatim. The mitzvot, the commandments of God, the relationship directly us with the Creator. The hukim is us with us. And the mishpatim is us with the rest, society. If we fail in the mitzvot, we fail in the hukim. And if we fail in the hukim, we fail in the mishpatim. If we fail in our relationship with the Creator, we are not going to treat ourselves too well. And if we don't treat ourselves too well, we're going to treat the rest even worse. It is my desire that through this process of applying the principle of the Torah, applying what the Creator is telling to us, that is the Creator who wins the victory for us. Because He is the one that covers us and He protects us. Many times we talk about Israel like it's the invincible country, you know? And I don't want that we as Israel, we forgot what happened in the 1930s. What happened in the pogroms. What happened in the Inquisition. What happened in England with the revolution against the Jewish people. What happened before with the Syrians and with the Persians, with the Greeks, with the Romans. Let's not forget that we got into that situation because we were disobedient and we were not following the Creator. The only thing is that the Creator didn't allow us to disappear because He promised to our forefathers. Read Jeremiah 31 and find who can destroy Israel when the moon, the sun, the stars cease to exist. That's when Israel will disappear. But not before. Because the Creator will always protect Israel. But it doesn't mean that Israel will be all the time hunky-dory, totally the contrary. We're going to suffer the consequences. The same thing is with us at this moment. Many of us will go through hard times. And I want to ask you this question. Before you complain to the Creator, why you? Why me? Why me? Check your heart. Maybe the Creator is giving to you some notice. Maybe He is warning you that maybe it's time that you change certain attitudes, certain ways. And you will be blessed by Him. It's so wonderful when we have the capability to come back to the Creator. And I end it with this. Psalm 139, 23 and 24. That you are tired to hear me repeat it to you. Don't worry, I'm going to repeat it until I am in the other side. Search me, O God, and look within me, and see if there is anything that it is a stumbling block to have a relationship with you. Show me in that way I don't do it anymore, and I can go back to you to worship you and to have a relationship with you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Shabbat shalom.